What's going on? Welcome to Hart, where we talk about video games, movies, animes, young and old. And today we're talking about the new Alien movie, Alien Romulus. Now, right away, when they first announced this movie, I was like, you know what? Maybe we should just not. Maybe we should let it go a little bit. I love Alien, the franchise. I've always loved Alien and Aliens. They've been pretty close movies to me. The movies to follow, like, I'm a sucker for the Alien versus Predator movies. I'll just say that. I'm a sucker for them, all right? It's just kind of fun, even though they're not good. And my point being is that they've never quite hit their stride with the Alien movies after the first two. With Resurrection and Alien 3, like, they're just, I gotta rewatch them, so I don't want to talk about them too much, but all this is just to say that it's been a rocky road with the Alien franchise. But I am extremely happy to say that Alien Romulus, I think, just hits it right out of the park. I think they did such a good job of bringing it back to some of its roots of what made the series kind of so good in the first place, or at least of what I really liked about it so much in the first place. A good example of that is using practical effects. Using practical effects for the xenomorph, using practical effects for the ship, like like your settings and what's actually around you, like the set and everything. Just using practical effects in general helps so much with movies like this. I really don't like I didn't like, example, in like Covenant, it's full CGI with the xenomorphs and a lot of the stuff that you see, and it just really takes away a lot of like the tension, takes away a lot of the horror aspects of it. Like, it just really feels weird when you take those parts away from it. Okay, ignoring all that, focusing on the movie itself here. I really liked it. I had a really good time, a lot of fun watching this movie. I was stressed the entire time, edge of my seat the entire time. And like, the whole cast did such a good job. I'm just looking at their names over here because it's been a couple days now. I don't remember. But like, the relationship between the synthetic in this movie and the main character, so Rain and Andy. Andy is the synthetic, Rain is the main character. Their relationship, I just loved how they did that. The synthetic is always kind of, in some way, shape, or form, the synthetic is always somehow against the humans. But in this movie, right off the bat, we find out that our two main characters, the human and the synthetic, are siblings, or more that Rain's father found Andy and like, I think he like found him in like a dumpster or something, and then fixed him, and then programmed him to protect Rain at all cost and do what is best for her. That is his primary objective, is to do what's best for Rain. And they end up having this brother-sister relationship, which I think works very, very well. And you immediately like them. That's what I really liked about the characters and like the setup for the first quarter of the movie. Because like, the setup actually isn't that long. The pacing was a lot like the first movie, like Alien, but not as long, like not nearly as long. Things pick up pretty quickly, and then they just go for the rest of the movie. Like, it's very thriller, very thriller-like, for sure. But back to the characters, like, we start off with Rain and Andy, and how it kind of works in this world is they're working for a company, and they have to work a certain amount of hours to hit their target so that they could be free, basically. Like, they're just working to be free. We see that our two main characters, they hit their quota, and then the company goes, no, you have to work another fucking 7 million more hours, like, in the mines. And they're like, well, we don't want to do that. And they end up going and meeting up with the rest of the crew. So there's another 4 characters or something like that. Everyone has a specific task and a purpose, and you just immediately like well, you don't like everyone. There's obviously like one character who's always just kind of a dickhead, right? But you just immediately kind of feel the like family, like they are a family. Like, you feel that immediately. It's something you don't get out of a lot of the Alien movies, because a lot of the time the crew is pretty big, or at least just a lot of moving pieces. And there's nothing wrong with that, because mostly in the Alien movies, like, they isolate your main character. But in this one, you have like a little bit of a family. And so it's hard when when shit happens to some of the characters, you're just like, why? Like, when the first character gets a face hugger on their face, it's like, I literally was like, why her? Like, why? I turned to my friend and I said, out of all the characters to get that to happen to, like, why her? Like, just literally the most innocent in the moment, like, just happened, like, such wrong place, wrong time. I felt so bad. I'm getting a little bit excited. I'm getting a little all over the place. So you see that they're a family, right? And they establish, like, all right, we need to leave. We need to get free of this place. One of the only ways we can do that is if they find basically some ship and they're like, we should go to this ship so that we can take the like station, what is it, the cryogenic chambers, like the things that the space astronauts sleep in for long periods of time so that they can travel really far. They're basically like, if we can go and get the pods from that ship, then we can go to sleep for a really long time and we can travel to this other planet and we can be free of this. That's like the whole point, basically. Our two main characters begrudgingly like agree to this, but it's really because the synthetic, they establish that we need the synthetic so that they can come and like open the doors, and just because having a synthetic with you is so normal, and that they know if they're going to some other ship that's just in orbit, they're going to need a synthetic there to like hack the doors and just do shit like that for them. So they're basically like, well, you guys can come along, but your brother's going to have to like help and do a lot of the work like that. And obviously there's a crew member who doesn't like synthetics, so he's just a dick to him the whole time. So that's exactly what the characters do. They steal a smaller ship to go up to a bigger ship, which ends up being like this big, it just ends up being this like big ship, and it's above like another planet. And of course the crew ends up splitting up, half of them going on to the ship looking for the cryogenic chambers, half of them staying on their original ship. And this is where shit hits the fan. So we find out from the beginning that this ship actually picked up, what was it? They actually picked up, but when we as the audience, like we see the ship and we know that it's the Romulus ship, we know that that's the ship from the beginning of the movie that we see, that these characters don't know, that ship was investigating the ship from the first Alien movie, and it took something from that ship. And we just know, yes, it took the xenomorph, it took like stuff from that ship, and now it's coming onto the ship. We don't know exactly what it is, but it turns out it's just a bunch of face huggers, and they took and made a bunch of aliens on this ship, and they put them in, and they froze them. They put them in cryogenic sleep or whatever. So now when our characters get to the ship and they go into the wrong door, the wrong area of the ship that they shouldn't be going to, it wakes up all the face huggers because they end up like depressurizing the room or whatever, and then the heat goes up and they all end up coming out, and there's a lot of them. It's fucking crazy. Like the little chase scene with all the face huggers is so cool. And then from basically there, like shit just hits the fan. There even is like a timer. There's a countdown, like in 1 hour. Oh my god, because okay, I have to say this part, and then I won't break the movie down anymore. A facehugger gets on the one crew member, so then that leads basically three crew members, two good ones, one is now sick. They leave and go back onto their ship. So then they end up stranding three other characters, our two main characters, and then Tyler. And Tyler and Rain are kind of like, I don't know, we don't know what's going on with them. But then it's Tyler, Rain, and then the synthetic Andy. And they're still on the Romulus. And the good guy ship leaves, the facehugger thing happens, the chest burster scene happens. It's crazy. It's like really, really good. They did such a good job with the chest burster scene in this movie. It is so good. But it makes the ship, it comes out of the bay, and then it just goes like in a crescent moon. And it's because it's out of control and spins around the ship and just goes perfectly oh, hey, there's a hangar bay I can slide into. Perfectly slides into the hangar bay Romulus, and then the doors close and it like protects it from like explosion or whatever. Like they took the xenomorph with them kind of, because a facehugger thing happened, came all the way back around, slammed back into the exact same ship, and now the xenomorph's just on the fucking ship with them, and it's just like, we are fucked. Like what just happened? They're like, we gotta get to the Romulus hangar so we can save them, because they don't know if the alien's there. Like they don't know how all that's working. Like that was funny. And there was a dude in our theater who, when that was happening, the two things were, because they're in space, so like the thing's spinning slow and it's like gonna hit the hangar, and this guy's like, let's say they're like this far apart, and the guy's like, boom, and they're just like still colliding with each other, and then they collide, and then the doors close, and then there's no explosion. It was so funny. It was so funny. That guy must have just been like, oh god. But yeah, I don't want to break down the movie anymore, because I'll just end up talking about like scene for scene the entire movie. But I just really liked it. I'm also trying to like remind myself, because now I have rewatched 2 Alien movies since watching Romulus, so I want to make sure I'm on the right track. But I just really liked it. Like there's this zero gravity scene. Fuck, it's cool, man. I don't want to spoil it, but it's really cool. Like there's some cool scenes There's some disgusting scenes. They do the deaths pretty well. They bring back a lot, and I'm not mad at that. I don't think that's bad. They literally do a shot for shot of aliens, like of when Ripley is going down to save I can't remember her name, and she like has the gun. It's like literally shot for shot. It's so fucking cool. I loved it. There are a couple things like that where this movie, it's connected. It's in between Alien 1 and Aliens. So it's in between Alien and Aliens, Alien 1 and Alien 2. It's right in between. But it's way like it's hard connected to Alien 1. Like there's, okay, I can't say that, it's a big spoiler, but like at the beginning of the movie when you see the Romulus like checking out another ship, like if you've seen the first Alien, you know that's the first alien ship. So it's like there's the hard connection there. And then there's like an even harder connections to Prometheus. Like they really, really, really want to connect the prequels to the original series, and they do it. They like do it. As soon as I saw that fucking black gunk, we were like, oh my God, they're doing the Prometheus. Like they're just doing the Prometheus. This movie's not going to end fucking well. We're in for some shit. And like the last bit of that movie is fucking insane. And like they do the Prometheus, man. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Like there's connections to like Resurrection, to Alien 3, there's Covenant, there's connections to all of it. There's even connections to Alien Isolation, which you could really tell through like the beginning, through the just some design choices, through some audio choices. There's one scene where like they're basically sneaking through a hallway of face huggers, and they have to like be really quiet because the face huggers only move on like they can like read your heat, so they have to like change the temperature of the room. It's like really cool, not from the game, but that's very much an Alien Isolation like thing. So I was pretty happy to see that they took inspiration even from the game. Like they really just grabbed shit from everywhere, and it worked out so well. Like it just worked so well. I loved the setup. I loved the movie. I loved the characters. I loved the action. Like the deaths were really cool, and none of them seemed worthless. Like they were there for a reason. They happened when they're supposed to happen. Oh yeah, with the synthetic, man, like how they deal with the synthetic's really cool. Our synthetic, our good guy Andy, because like he's I don't want to spoil too much. I know I've already kind of broken down. I literally just talked about like the first probably like 20 to 25 minutes of the movie. That's just the setup. I don't know if I even explained it well. I'm kind of all over the place, but I really liked Alien Romulus. I think it's one of the better Alien movies. Like I would genuinely put it up there with Alien, Aliens, and Romulus. Easily the best prequel, 100%. It's like, it would be Romulus, Prometheus, then Covenant. Like, that would be the order, unarguably. Well, I could see you some people putting Prometheus first, but I just think that this is an Alien movie. Everything about this movie, from the moment it starts, is an Alien movie. One thing my buddy said to me that I really liked was that in the Alien movies, when the characters are walking around, you don't know where the xenomorph is. He could be anywhere, or she could be anywhere, right? Even like how the walls are designed, it kind of looks like the back of the xenomorph, or like maybe you're going around a corner and you see like pipe sticking out of the ground and it just looks like the xenomorph's tail, or like stuff like that. This movie has all of that. And like right from the sound design, from just everything, like you feel like it's an Alien movie. Aside from like Covenant, where you're like, oh, we're in Fiji now. Like, I don't know. In Romulus, you never, ever feel like you're not watching an Alien movie. Like, and the xenomorphs are not forced in there. It wasn't like you could change the xenomorph out and it would work. Like, no, like this is an Alien movie, tropes and all, because they use a lot of Alien tropes, but they just do it so well. They just do it so well. I really think if you're like an Alien fan, then you're going to like this movie. I wouldn't necessarily say it was like horror, like scary, but I was on the edge of my seat the whole movie. Like, it's a good thriller. Had me guessing the whole way. I really didn't know which side they'd commit to. You know, we're going to like kill everyone, or they were going to maybe let one live, like what they were going to do. I didn't know how it was going to end right up until it ended, and I like that a lot. Even though the ending, like, it's a bit open, I feel like he might even make another one, because that's what I didn't like, is I was waiting for like it to connect to 2. Like, I was waiting to be like, oh, so that's how the alien got to the ship in Aliens, but they just never do that. And I didn't like that, because they literally take a couple things from 1, and you're like, okay, so this kind of should directly fit into 2, and then it just doesn't. Regardless, I really liked it, and maybe you will too. I think it's a good theater movie. There's some really loud parts. Holy shit, there are some really loud parts. It is a theater experience, my guy. It is a theater experience. All right, there you have it. We got a lot more where that came from on Just Jacob. I've been really sick, so I haven't been doing a lot of videos, but this is what I got going right now. I'm about to finish my Elden Ring playthrough. Watched Wolverine recently, kind of like that. Got a nice recap of June, because I'm a little bit behind. God, I love this video, my Crap Souls video. It's so good. Watch my Let's Talk videos. They're all very good. But until next time, good afternoon, good evening, and the night. And the night. And the night. I am the night. I am the Xenomorph. We'll see y'all later. I'm going to watch more Alien movies, so stick around for that. All right. Bye.